Okay, I'm ready.
So this is just the master that we're creating. So we have everything we want to set up, everything on here how we want it to be. So
This is the student master.
This is student
iPad.
master. So in settings, under general, there is a restrictions option. And so we on this iPad, we've already talked about this, so we've done it already. At the top, there'll be a button that says enable restrictions, and so you enable it, and then you have to come up with a 4-digit code. And we did something really simple related to grade level and room number. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to
put it on Twitter.
But yeah, no, we're not going to put that. But also,
and it's the same on all the iPads for your students. Is that correct?
It's just going to be that one password. And I suggest that 4-digit code be the lock number, because you'll have a 4-digit code for a padlock on your cart. So it makes sense that those two correlate. See, here's where it says disable, so if you want to turn off, and at the top it'll say enable over there. Then we talked about some of the things that you want to take restrictions off. So we thought that FaceTime would be pretty distracting to the students, so we turned off FaceTime. Deleting apps, that's huge, especially for your K1 kids, because they start playing and they don't know what they're doing, and then it's fairly easy for them to delete the app. So we just did those. I used to do installing apps, but they really don't know the passwords. I think we have them secure enough. It's not really an issue, so I didn't do that. And then through here, the content that's allowed, it'll say when it's set, it'll have automatically be set to explicit, and we didn't want that for the students, so we turned off that, so then it'll only do clean stuff. And then with movies, we did a PG-13 rating. We took away some of the options. TV shows, we did the TV-14. With apps, you have to do 17 and plus if you're going to have any kind of a web browser be on there.
I've seen that before.
Because it'll ask you that. So you want to keep that. And then we turned in-app purchases off because we don't want to rack up a lot of money.
That's what my nephew did. My brother was so mad.
And then Twitter and Facebook, we went ahead and locked so that they couldn't do any changes. We're planning on using a Twitter account. We'll sign the kids in, and we don't want them to be able to edit that and sign into their own personal Twitter accounts. Just be
so lock
there.
Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, and then we also did do turned on Find My iPad, just because, I don't know, as a safety measure. You're going to want to, all the apps that you should have downloaded onto the MacBook.
So you download the apps for the Student Master on your MacBook iTunes first, using your cart Apple ID.
Yes, and that's why they gave us these for the summer, so that we could be putting applications in there already.
Cool.
So look up your list, put them all in there, and then...
Where do you... I always download apps on my iPad, so where do you actually download on iTunes the apps?
We're iTunes Store. You can just do your search box up here at the top and type in the individual one you want, or you can go into the actual App Store. And if you go into the App Store, then you can search, and they have like different topics and things you can, so they have a whole education collection. You can get some ideas from there. And then you can see like the frequently used and things that are new and noteworthy, things that have high ratings. So you can search general things that people have already found, but if you have a list, then just use your search bar and then type in the application you want to find. And so then she's just going to plug this in. Ooh, fancy stuff. And what you'll notice is that they're a little stiff initially when you plug them in. So you might have to muscle up.
And then
it's automatically going to prompt about Dropbox, and I always just cancel that. Okay, then it wants you to register. This is the first one, so this is going to be her master. So she's just going to continue through that and set up that process. So I'll let you type in your...
All right, Sherry, you're up. Okay. No pressure.
So then here's her iPad, and there it is. So now she's going to want to see
what... So it's currently named SV Jensen's iPad?
Mm-hmm.
Because guessing they all are, because they did the updates for us.
Because they did all of that. And this is where you're going to change the name here at the end once it's...
Show me, right over here.
Yeah, so if you just click on that box, she's going to title this
Tyler
one...
is awesome.
Master...
Fine.
iPad, and then her room number. So then she'll be able to remember that. So this will just be her master. And so now you can see the name of her iPad has changed. So all we had to do was, when we're here, you can see none of these are bright and vibrant. They're kind of dull.
They are
so
dull.
We want to do sync apps, and then it's going to allow us to sync the ones that we want. Now,
Cool.
one of the things that Sherry's been doing is following the Apps Gone Free and App Shopper and checking other places and downloading apps that are free for the day.
Job well done, Sherry.
But she doesn't want to put all of those on there. She just wants to have them as a resource if she wants them later. So she's going to go through her list that she's created, and then she's just going to check mark the ones that she knows for sure that I have a purpose. It's going to be for them to produce, and then she just check marks it. And I know she wanted to do... I want to do one I know for sure you were going to do. She's going to do this one. So she'll put a check mark here, and then you'll see down here in this little box, it's already adding them.
Oh, it is.
To that.
To the screen.
To the screen. And so then you'll see that, and then once she has check marked everything, Google search is so awesome. It allows you to do voice searches. So if you have kindergartens, first grade, second graders, you want them to be able to use Google, but they can't spell well enough to use Google, they can just search.
That's brilliant. I didn't know that.
Awesome. So you're going to want to download Google Search. And then she'll check mark all the ones she wants, and then she'll apply it, and then it'll download all the ones that she has check marked onto her thing. So you can see up at the top, it's now going to apply. So she's going to want to do that. And then she'll have several pages, 3 or 4 pages probably, of just applications. Okay, so now you'll notice that she has check marks by some of the apps that she has downloaded here. And so these are the ones that she has selected to be on her master iPad. And then we hit the apply button. And so now all of these, because they're bright and vibrant, are on her master iPad. And you can see down here she has 3.5 pages of applications downloaded. And so that's all going to be on her master. So then the next step that she's going to do is we renamed this master iPad, so she can unhook this now, and you want to hit that little button there, and that's how it's going to disconnect for you. And then we're going to go to the actual iPad and create folders. And so that's the next step that we're going to do. One of the things I like to do is there's some things on the operating system that you don't use just that often. And so I usually do just a folder for like navigation, and those are the tools that come with it, or put operating system, whatever you want to put there. And then the ones that I know that the students won't be using, I will do there. And then on the bottom, you want to keep the ones that you know that the kids will be accessing a lot. And so I keep settings down there because they need to connect to the Wi-Fi. I keep their camera down there because we use their camera very often. Mail is not something that we use very often. That could go in their navigation. And then you can kind of tailor that to be what you need it to be. They don't do reminders, and all of that's just going to go in that one folder. And Game Center, we don't do a lot with that. Contacts, and then that just becomes your key thing. And so she's going to go through her other pages and start organizing them into categories. Think of things that would be nice topics like math or science. She has our 3rd grade page. We're going to add the school website to that. So she'll have one folder that has websites in it, so that are like the quick links for anything that they want. Do a reference one. I always do like a productivity, so then I put my iMovie and my slideshow creator and things like that they want to be able to like produce something. I put in one folder so that they have quick access to that. So that's what we're going to do now. So now you can see, and we've just started this because we want to show you guys how to do the backup, but we're not going to finish this right now because we know we'll have a lot of stuff to add. And so you can see she has her folders here, and then she has her stuff along that she's going to use often. And so now we're going to plug this in, and we're going to create a backup of this iPad. So this is going to be the mirror image that we're going to sync everything else to. I have iTunes open because I want it just to open right in iTunes and read that. So I'm going to plug in the iPad. Okay, and so when it does, it'll prompt me for that. I'm going to cancel that, and then and you'll see it does the sync up at the top. Okay, so now we're going to go in, and right here's our master iPad and then her room number. And so we're going to right click on that, and you can see we have some options. We can do new playlist, sync the master iPad, transfer purchases. That's really handy if you have stuff that you've purchased from your iPad. So last night when you were asking that question,
Okay.
if you hit that transfer, and we're going to hit the backup key because we want to back it up now. Okay, so it happened really quick. It didn't take long at all. And then you can see that backup if you go into the iTunes, go to Preferences, and then if you look at your devices that you have, you can see now we have a device backup of the master iPad 113. We did that this morning. Here it is. And so we can see that that's been backed up. And now that's the copy that we can plug in another iPad. And when we plug in another iPad, we would just, and it would be plugged in and it would say iPad number 1 or whatever number system you use. And then you would restore from the backup. And then once you click that button, it would offer you the option to restore it to your master iPad.